Pregnant lioness collapses. What rangers saw, moments later, left them speechless. The lioness lay motionless beneath a thin acacia tree, her tawny body half hidden by the pale grass. The early air was still heavy with the scent of dust and dew. A faint tremor ran through her ribs, not from strength but from struggle. Her eyes were half closed, her breaths uneven. The once mighty hunter now fragile and silent against the land she ruled. A kilometer away, the morning patrol jeep slowed. Ranger Mosey was the first to notice the strange shape near the slope. Too golden for a rock, too still for life. He lifted his binoculars and froze. "Stop here," he murmured. The engine went quiet. Only the buzz of insects filled the air. Through the glass he saw the telltale flick of an ear, slow and weak. A lioness and alone, no pride nearby, no fresh kill, no movement in the distance. Something was wrong. They approached on foot, boots pressing softly into the sand. Each step carried the weight of uncertainty. The lioness didn't move, though her chest rose and fell shallowly. Her side was rounded, more than it should be. Beneath the thin stretch of fur, the curve of her belly told a story the men had not expected. "She's pregnant," whispered Kofi, the youngest of the rangers. His voice trembled not with fear but awe. Flies buzzed around her eyes and her paw twitched faintly. Mosey knelt a few meters away, studying her body. No sign of an open wound, no blood. But the ground told its own tale, deep drag marks leading from the brush behind her, as if she had forced herself forward until her body could go no farther. She must have been searching for shade or safety. The silence of the savannah pressed down. The horizon was beginning to pale and already heat shimmered on the earth. Mosey reached for the radio on his shoulder. "Base, this is Patrol 2. We've got a lioness, heavily pregnant, possibly in distress. Need medical support." Static crackled, then a calm voice replied. "Copy that. Stay close but keep distance. Vet team en route." The lioness stirred at the sound, her head lifting just an inch. Her eyes met Mosey's for the briefest heartbeat, gold meeting brown, before falling shut again. That look was enough, not of fear but of surrender, as if she knew her fate was no longer hers to fight alone. Minutes passed like hours. The wind rose and carried the scent of dry grass and something older, the faint musk of life hanging by a thread. Mosey felt it in his chest, the fragile balance of nature where strength and vulnerability often share the same breath. The team kept their distance, crouched in silence. The lioness's tail flicked once, then fell still. Her body trembled again, this time stronger, as if something deep within was awakening, a pulse beneath the weakness. "Maybe it's time," Kofi whispered. Mosey didn't answer. He could only watch as the morning light grew brighter, spreading across the plain like hope breaking through a long night. The lioness lay there, a mother on the edge of two worlds, her breath shallow, her story just beginning to unfold. And in that stillness, the rangers understood, sometimes even in the wild, the quietest moments hold the loudest miracles. By the time the veterinary truck reached the ridge, the sun had begun its climb, a white disk above a trembling horizon. Heat rose off the earth, blurring the distance, turning every movement into a mirage. The lioness was still there, her breathing faster now, her body taut with effort. Dr. Amani, the reserve's senior wildlife vet, stepped down quietly. Years in the field had taught her to read silence better than sound. She studied the lioness from afar. No visible wounds, but her flanks tightened and released in heavy waves. Labor, not injury. "She's going into birth," Amani said softly. The rangers exchanged glances, hope mingled with fear. This was no safe den, no hidden patch of tall grass. Predators, scavengers, even the heat itself. Everything around her could take what she was trying to give life to. Amani signaled for the team to stay back. "We interfere only if she fails to breathe. Nature knows the way better than we do." The lioness shuddered, a deep moan escaping her throat. Raw, low, and ancient. Dust lifted around her paws. A pulse of instinct rippled through her, the kind that moves mountains in small, quiet ways. Each contraction left her weaker, yet more determined. The rangers watched from the shade of the jeep. Sweat ran down their necks, but none of them moved. This wasn't something to witness loudly. It was something to respect. Minutes turned to an hour. The lioness's body quivered, her breath rasping through open jaws. Then came a pause, the kind that makes the world hold still. The land fell silent, the air heavy as stone, and then a faint sound. A whimper, soft and trembling. Mosey's hands tightened around his knees. "Is that—" "Yes," Amani breathed, eyes fixed ahead. The first one. A small, wet bundle lay against the earth, still and glistening. The lioness turned her head weakly, nuzzling it, licking with short, desperate strokes. The tiny creature stirred, a fragile paw stretching toward the warmth that had brought it here. But the mother did not stop. Her body tensed again. Another contraction. Then another. The ground beneath her claws darkened with effort. By the time the sun reached its height, there were 2 more cubs, weak, blind, alive. Her sides heaved. She tried to rise but failed, collapsing again beside them. Amani took a cautious step forward, her voice barely above a whisper. "She's dehydrated. If she can't stand soon, the cubs—" Mosey placed a hand on her arm. "Not yet." The lioness raised her head once more, pressing her muzzle to each cub. Her breath came in short bursts, her eyes dim yet full of something deeper than will. That ancient force that binds mother and child, no matter the species. A soft breeze moved through the grass, carrying the scent of rain from far away. The vultures that had circled earlier drifted off, their patience fading into the distance. Life, it seemed, had chosen to stay a little longer. Amani exhaled slowly. "She might make it," she murmured. "If she rests." Mosey looked at the small family, 3 cubs nestled beside their mother's belly. The savannah stretched endless around them, harsh yet breathtaking. In that vast, indifferent world, a single heartbeat had multiplied into 4. For now, that was enough. The lioness closed her eyes, her breathing softer now, her cubs pressed against her warmth. The rangers backed away, leaving her in the quiet circle of sunlight and shade, where struggle had turned, just barely, into survival. By evening, the heat had faded. The lioness rested beneath the acacia, her 3 cubs nestled close, their soft cries fading into the hum of the savannah. Her breathing had steadied. The weakness that once held her down was lifting. From a distance, the rangers watched without a word. Hours had passed since the birth, but none could bring themselves to leave. Dr. Amani's voice was low. "If she can stand, she'll move before night. She knows the danger better than we do." The lioness stirred. Slowly, with trembling limbs, she rose. The cubs squeaked, confused by the sudden motion. She touched each one gently, the low rumble in her throat like a lullaby. Then step by step she began to walk, weak but determined, guiding her newborns toward the tall grass. The men stood still. Cameras hung forgotten. In the golden light, her coat glowed like living fire, her cubs trailing behind in clumsy steps. She paused once, glancing back, not in fear, not in thanks, just quiet recognition, before disappearing into the wild. The grass swallowed her and the cubs whole, leaving only the soft rustle of wind. Mosey exhaled. "We almost lost her." Dr. Amani nodded, but she remembered what she was. As darkness crept across the plains, silence returned, deep and peaceful. Somewhere beyond sight, a mother lay with her young, and the savannah, vast and endless, breathed in rhythm with their fragile new lives.